I suggested a feature to one of the guys at work, and I said this would be relatively simple to do, and I said I could do it in an hour. So basically my mouth has been writing checks that my coder butt has to cache. So I'll give it a go now, see if I can do it. It is 20 past 10, and I want to go to bed before 11, so I'm going to have to get a bit of a crack on. So what we got here is a pretty blank Unity scene. I've grabbed a couple of audio things that I made earlier, but other than that, this is a new project. So the idea here is that I want to make a dialogue thing, a thing that displays dialogue on the screen. So I'm going to need, what am I going to need? I am going to need a oh, look at that, we haven't even imported TextMesh Pro. This is off to a blinder. So when a character speaks in a game, you generally get the dialogue appearing on screen, and normally most games will generally do a ticker tape thing. So they'll say something and it'll appear as a sort of ticker tape delayed typewriter effect, and that's all fine and dandy, but it is a bit formulaic. It is a bit formulaic. So what I intend to do is try to make it a little more natural, a little more feeling like there's actually some text happening, some actual speech. See if we can't get it make it feel a little more like speech is happening. And so the way I intend to do that is by just having a system whereby I can give the text some character and give it the sort of cadence of speech, so it's not just this linear thing. But first of all, we'll try doing a typewriter style thing. So I'm going to need a C# thing, which I'm going to call C text. No, talking. There we go. Talk text. Perfect. You may notice that I've gone for what I've now learned is called the Mongolian style. The Mongolian style, where you prefix things with lowercase letters to denote what they are. So a lowercase c is a class. I'm going to need a TextMesh Pro GUI. An M is a member variable, so I'm going to need that. That is going to point at, let's create a new object now, which is going to be the, oops, me and my keyboard shortcuts, pressing the wrong thing. That's my text manager, which I'm going to put that guy on, set to 0, not that that's necessary. And let's give him the, let's point to the text that we've got on the screen there. And in fact, let's, at the start of this, let's go into that, we don't need that one. At the start of this, let's say we're going to need two strings. We're going to need a display text, and we're going to need a target text. So we're going to have a routine that says that is going to pass in a string which will get displayed on the screen. And now to start with, what we'll do is we'll just set the thing straight away to be the text that we pass in. So let's create another, let's create a controller script, which, oops, controllers, plural, why not? So what this one is going to do, this is going to be my kind of interface to the thing, whereby we're going to have a reference to talk text, and when I press a button I'm going to set the text to be something. If input.get key down, key code space, because that's a lovely big key, then I'm going to say mTalkText.setText, and then I'm going to say hello everyone, how are you today? That's a lovely piece of text there. So if I create another object in the scene, which will be my controller object, there we go, and tell it about the text controller. Now if I run the game, now if I run the thing and I press the space bar, it just pops up with hello everyone, how are you today? Brilliant, excellent. We are winning. Now the next step is to make it act like a typewriter. So for that I'm going to need a couple more things. I'm going to need a timer that I'm going to use as the delay between letters. And so now instead of setting that text to be that, this is something we need to do in the update. So if the timer is less than or equal to 0, that's when we need to update the string. In fact, what we probably need to do is if the mDisplayText.length count is one of them. There we go. So if the display text is length is less than the target text.length, we've still got stuff to add to the text. So what we want to do is we want to decrease the timer. Yeah, and if the timer is ever 0, this is when we want to essentially add the next character to the display text. So I think the way we do that is we say mDisplayText equals mDisplayText plus. Now we want a particular character from the target text. Now I think I can just do this. Target text mDisplayText.length. Yeah. In fact, what I'm going to do is we'll set that into a little thing, a little character of its own, and we probably need to cast that, don't we? In fact, we probably need to cast it back again to do this. But the reason why no, okay, you can't do that. Why can't I do that? Okay, so I probably don't need to do that then. I wonder if that is something that is going to let me do. So anyway, the reason I want to do this is because I'm going to do some funky stuff depending on what the character is. And then, so after this, I want to, if assuming that adds the characters to the thing. In fact, let's just check it out. M times plus equals 0.1f. There you go. So it'll do 10 characters a second. If it works. If it works? No, hang on. So m target text equals z text. M display text equals nothing. And m text dot text dot set text is no. Nothing. Okay, so now instead this set text routine is going to give us the target thing that we want to display and clear everything else out. So if I run it, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Drum roll, please. It's going to break. Why is it going to break? It's going to break because... okay. Alright, okay. and display text equals nothing, target text equals nothing. There you go. That is what I assume has happened there. And it's running. And I press the spacebar and now nothing happens. Why does nothing happen? You know what we need? We need some debug. And it's presumably because... Oh, right, no, that's why. There you go. M timer equals 0.1f. So it starts with an initial delay. No, that's not why at all. Nope, doesn't work. That's not why at all. Well, I promised this warts and all coding, and that's what we've got. Did it? It did set the text to that. So okay, debugging fun. No, debugging fun. There we go. Attach that. Run it. Hit the space. Wait, run it. Hit the space bar. Hitting the hit the space bar. Stuff like that. Gonna need to do that a few times. Whoa. Run. Just stick one there now. Stop running that. Run. Here we go. Ah! Well, there's the bug. Right there. Very simple. Bonus points for anybody who spotted it. Talk text. No, come on, where are we? Oh, just mtext dot set text and display text. There we go. One of those classic, I haven't actually told it to do the thing. So let's let that compile. Spinny, spinny, spinny. Now we run it. Tick, 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 tick. Brilliant. Look at that. Right, classic typewriter. Now, we can obviously speed that up, slow it down with the this magic number here, which I'm actually going to make another float, which is going to be delay. And at the point where we send in the text, we're also going to pass it in a base delay value. Z delay and M delay equals Z delay. Now obviously it's not going to work because I'm not passing in enough things. So if I set that to 0.025, there you go. Now it should appear a little bit quicker. And more importantly, he said, oh no, it's not going to appear a bit quicker because I still used the magic number. Don't use magic numbers, people. Magic numbers are bad. Now it should do it all nicely. There you go, nice and quick. Okay, so that's part one, is the lovely typewriter thing. The next stage is to try and get the cadence right. So what I'm going to do here is, instead of just this, setting it to the flat delay there, what I want to do is I want to check to see what kind of thing this character is. So for instance, if it's a full stop, or so basically if it's a bunch of characters that I think should create like a pause, then I'm going to increase the delay. Ouch, equals, let's get a semicolon in there, And what else? Char equals exclamation mark, or char equals a question mark. Then timer plus equals delay times 4. There we go. Otherwise, we set it to normal. So now, some people are going to be mad about that, and not just because of the magic numbers, but because of the lack of braces. So now, whenever it comes across one of those, it should be a natural pause in the thing. So to demonstrate that a bit better, I'll do some other things with it. How are you today? I'm fine. Thank you. Sounds like a bit of a one-sided conversation, but all I'm really doing here is filling it with the punctuation that you are. Hope you are too. There you go. What a lovely sentiment from my computer there. Hello world, eat your heart out. So now, in theory, what we should see is it should essentially speed the words and then pause between each sentence. Hello everyone, how are you today? I'm fine, thank you. Hope you are too. Okay, so what I've learned from that is that it's still too fast. It's still too fast. So let's maybe instead of just multiplying it, I need another thing, which is right. Let's have another. Let's have a space delay, and let's have a pause delay. There you go. In fact, no. Let's just have a pause delay, and we'll multiply that. So that's something else that we want to pass in. Delay float. Set pause delay. Set the pause delay to be that. There we go. Plus equals pause delay. Swap to over here and wait for 2 seconds. Sorry, 0.2 of a second. I also want to actually, you know what? I'm going to multiply that by 2. And then if char equals space, same sort of thing, timer plus equals pause delay. Whoa, no, that's not right. Pause delay. There you go. So it's going to pause for a little while on the space, so you get this kind of thing between words, and then it's going to pause for a long time between sentences. Such is the theory. Hello. Right, there we go. Hello everyone. How are you today? I'm fine. Thank you. Okay, so that has got more of a thing. Maybe the pause is a little aggressive, but that's just a number I can change, so that's fine. But you'll see how it kind of spaces out the words and gives it more of a natural, gives it a more staccato feel. Anyway, pause delay times 3, that's fine. This delay is too big. There you go, feels like that. Okay, anyway, so that's the first part. Now, the second part of this is to make it sound like something. Now, if you can't obviously afford to do voiceover stuff, and who can these days, then we need something else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add I'm going to do my own audio. So we need an audio source on that. Look at that, brilliant. And what we've got here is a series of, these are just me making sounds that I cut up using Audacity. And they're just random sort of phonemes that we're going to use to speak whenever we hit a letter. And they're not going to be tied into a letter, they're into a particular phoneme, into a particular sound. It's just going to be purely random. So here we're going to add audio source, audio, there we go. And you know what, actually I don't know why I made that public, because we'll just keep that nice and private, and we'll just grab it, equals get component audio source. Yes please, one of those. So now we're reaching a point where I'm going to have to actually start parsing it, instead of passing it this big long mind of crap here. All of this stuff should be contained in some kind of character, so you could have different audio files for different characters and what have you. So time to make another class, which I will call character. C# character, and all the character is going to contain is he's going to have the delay, the pause delay, then he's going to have a audio clip, an array of audio clips, and he's going to have a bass pitch and a pitch variance. There was a really nice sound designer guy called Jory Prum. He did a talk one time in Norway about using fabric, and his whole thing was it's very easy to get audio fatigue when you're listening to the same thing over and over again, like a footprint or something like that, footsteps. So what he did was, or what he would do is, he would add multiple audio clips. So what I want to do is I want to have a bunch of these guys and I want to stick them in there. But then he would also mess around with the pitch of them as well. So I'm going to say the bass pitch is 1, because that's what it sounds like, and then a pitch variance. So it'll be anywhere between 0.9 and 1.1 will be my pitch. What was the delay I had? 0.025 and 0.125. That was about right, wasn't it? Something like that. Anyway, so here is a character, and you know what? He is going to get prefabbed. There we go. In fact, hang on, let's just make a folder for the prefabs. I'll pop him in there. There we go. So my controller, yes, is going to need a reference to the character. It's going to need a reference to the character. And now, whenever I do this, I'm going to pass in the character as well. Obviously, obviously that's gone wrong because I haven't told it here that that's what it's going to be getting. But now it's going to be getting a character. Now, and by dissecting the character, what I'm going to be able to do is in character, there we go. So by dissect, I'll be able to use the character instead to determine things like the delay. In fact, so that's probably the easiest thing to do straight away. Equals character. Come on, character dot and delay. Character dot and delay. Pause layers. Character dot and pause delay. Look at that. Brilliant. So that should work as it's been doing all along. Let's get rid of that because we don't need that there anymore. Let's just make sure that my controller has a copy of him. There he is. There we go. Superb. So now it's happily doing its thing. What I need to do is make use of those phonemes, or make use of those sounds. So whenever it adds a new sound to the thing, what I want it to do is set the audio dot clip to be a random thing from the character. mCharacter.m audio clips random dot range 0, mCharacter.m audio clips dot length. So set the clip to that. Set the pitch to be bass pitch plus random dot range minus mCharacter dot pitch variance 2 plus mCharacter dot pitch variance. There you go. Do that, and then tell the audio to play. Now obviously what this is going to do is it's going to cut off the samples because it's probably going to be too quick, so we may not even get it may not actually make much noise because it's still in the attack phase of the sample, but let's see what happens. And it crashes because there's no audio source attached to text. What? Where did I put my audio? Because I took it off, didn't I? Well, that was silly. Audio source. There you go. Don't play on awake. Don't be 3D either. Just be 2D. Why do I need 3D sound settings if I'm just 2D? Who knows? Well, let's see what happens. Right, it's got an audio source now. Okay, so there you go. So it's just playing a random selection of those things, but they're kind of getting cut off. So instead what I'm going to do is I'll say if maudio dot is playing, actually more correctly, if it's not playing, then let's play one of these things. So now it'll play each one out totally. And also, funnily enough, I only really want to do this if you're displaying a character rather than like a letter or something, rather than either something that makes you pour a punctuation piece or a space bar. So let's do that. 2 birds, 1 stone. See what happens. Now you're probably only going to get 1 phone in per word. Yeah, there we go. It kind of works. Obviously, your mileage may vary, and depending on the quality and the types of phonemes you use, you'll get better or worse results. But that's it. So, for instance, if I take this character and I reduce the pitch, reduce the bass pitch to that, let's see what happens now. Then suddenly I'm some kind of troll. Well, let's go the other way. Let's go higher. And now I'm a gnome. Okay, but anyway, there you go. That's the point. That's the point. Oh, let's up this. Well, anyway, there you go. That took 30 minutes. 30 minutes to get it that far. Which I think we can all agree is probably far enough. So I'm going to end this now. Thanks for watching, especially you, Lewis. Especially you.